So this is the framework that I pretty much use with the companies I work with. So I'm talking about leaders here, but because mainly the leaders in an organisation from team leaders up. And I often think in terms of the vision, if we were able to think about our team, the best day we've ever had, when we were really on top of our game, where it was fantastically rewarding and immensely satisfying to be in it, what would it be like if we could do that more consistently? To me, that'd be a vision. If I could have my best day every day, that's a vision. We'll talk a little bit more about it, but a leader in terms of the team needs to have that. The leadership team needs to have that for the organisation, but the individual leaders need to have a vision for themselves as to what leadership means to me. And increasingly, the area of leadership that I'm spending more and more time with in organisations internationally is this whole thing around authentic leadership. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a few moments. People want leaders who, as we would say in Australia, are fair dinkum. People don't want leaders who are playing a game, reading a script, leaders who are saying, well, this is not my idea, that's their idea. They want people who speak with the heart and the head. And when I say that, I'm not going to use the corporate language, but I'll say it in a way which makes sense to me. And if I couldn't buy into that, then I wouldn't be telling you this stuff. And so that becomes really important for leaders to have. The essential components of authentic leadership are around purpose. And what's the purpose above and beyond the job? What keeps you going? Why do you keep doing this stuff? Well, I keep doing this stuff because every now and again I get a chance to have an impact, to make a difference. And for people, that sense of purpose will be different shapes and sizes. But it might be because it helps me to be the best I can be, or to deliver outcomes to clients and so on. They need a sense of purpose. They need a sense of passion. What is it that keeps me energised? As you all know, work is hard, change is relentless, the future is uncertain, and the amount of energy taken in organisations today going through continual change requires more than one person sitting up there, requires a lot. So if you're the only one rowing the boat, you're in big trouble. You need a lot of people helping out here. But you have to keep yourself going through this sort of sense of passion, of understanding what it is that energises me. I'm energised by the team, or I'm energised by whatever it's going to be about. And the last bit around the authentic leadership stuff is going to be around purpose, it's going to be around passion, and it's going to be around principles. The principles become really important for any leader, and so, as you probably all know, reflection is a really powerful tool now in leadership development, because how else would you know what's important to you if you don't take the time out to think about it? If you don't take the time to have a look over your shoulder about the decisions that have taken you to where you are. And so the principles become the values that are core to me that are non-negotiable. So there are certain things I will do, there are certain things I won't do. So for me, certain things are negotiable, that's fine. Certain things are non-negotiable. And increasingly, as we go into global worlds, it's wise and useful for Australian companies to understand, in terms of the ethical basis of our business, what you shouldn't do and what you should do, and take some ownership of that. So vision becomes really important. For me, vision has two aspects. I'll go through quickly. The vision has to have an aspirational aspect. An aspirational aspect is magnitude, how big. Most organisations in the past just had that. You know, we want to be the dominant player of, preferred supplier of, the benchmark in, or the largest market share. That's all aspirational stuff. The aspiration then will identify what your priorities are. Got to be really good at customer service, got to be really good at performance, whatever. And from those priorities, you'll develop a strategy. So the aspiration develops a strategy, and the strategy typically is about customer, and the strategy typically helps an organisation with alignment. So across my business units, we can be pretty clearly aligned if we understand the strategy and the priorities. That's what I reckon is IQ. You need smart people developing strategy. You need to understand the trends, you understand what's happening, what the competitors are up to. Over the last 5 years, what's really started to inject into this vision thing is the inspirational purpose. If the aspirational is, how good do we want to be? Do we want to be global? Do we want to be local? How good do we want to be? Where do we want to excel? Then the inspirational bit is, why is that worth the effort? What's the impact that we will have through doing that? How will that benefit? And so most of the companies I work with today are really concerned about social benefit, are really concerned about their reputation, are really concerned with acting responsibly and so on. That's the inspirational piece. That flows through into a sense of purpose, which really starts building the culture, which is really supposed to be based around the real values, not what we think the values should be. And that's all about engagement. So for me, that's what we call emotional intelligence. And that's started up in about 1995 when culture started becoming important. And the top stuff is about the IQ bit. So I think leaders today, 50% of your KPIs would be on the strategy customer, and 50% of your KPIs should be on the culture team. So half of your work is inside, half of your work is outside.
This has been a Swinburne production.